Recording.
Hey, hi, hello. Okay, so I got asked a question that I think will be really important. Sorry, the screen's there and the camera's here. But I got asked a question that I think will be really important to actually put into a video and have a copy that can be referred to, because this stuff is really important, especially for marketing and knowing what to believe and what to not fall for at the same time, because you can get really confused on like nutrition labels and stuff like that. And I want to be able to help you girls make really good decisions. And I want you girls to keep coming to me with questions on this stuff so I can actually help you. So the question that I got asked today is something about this tuna that I'm going to share my screen. No, it's not that one. Is it this one? Yes, it's this one. Yes, okay. I'm going to share my screen. All right, cool. You're seeing this screen. So I got asked about, not that one, this one. I got asked about this calcium tuna. So the question that was asked is this one okay or something like that, and why it has more protein than the calcium. And then I then got shared this other one, new share. And then I got asked about this other one from Aldi, which is not the same, but it has higher protein as well. So I'm going to share this one. So the calcium tuna has 17 grams of protein, and it's got the omegas highlighted to try and say, hey, look at the omegas. But the thing is, the omegas on the calcium are actually worse. So you can see on here, it's got 300 milligrams. And on the other one, but the thing is, you can't tell because it's in grams. It says 0.3 grams. But then if you look at the calcium one, which I'll show you I'll show you right now as well. I wish I could like have them both on the same screen, which I might be able to do, but I don't know. I can't because there's no Aldi ones on here. But new share, I'll show you back to screen one. I have way too many screens open. Which one am I sharing? New share, that's not the one. This one. Okay. But then I'll show you back to this one. And you can see here how it's only 125 with 16 and 109. So the other one actually has a lot more, and it's even more beneficial because it has ALA in it, and ALA is actually really good for you as well. So I just wanted to share that part. So if you look at this, which is 320 kilojoules, while the other one's 402, the protein on this one is actually less than the Aldi one, but it's higher in calories at the same time. So it's like that little wonder. And the difference here is that the Aldi one doesn't actually tell you what the serving size is when drained. It just says 95. So we do not actually know that. But what we do know is that this one has calcium highlighted. And it's funny because it has 100% for the actual calcium, which isn't actually the RDI. The RDA is 1,000 milligrams. But the thing is, we don't want the RDA. I hate the RDA. It's enough to prevent disease. That's why it exists. But like, if you train hard, if you're trying to improve yourself and optimize your health and your body, you should be considering yourself as an athlete. Now, you may not be an elite athlete, but you should be considering yourself in that light, even if you're not that consistent right now. Because if you can actually get the identity of, I need to be athlete minded, it will actually help you a lot more in the long run with staying consistent and doing the things you need to do. That being said, for a woman, your calcium intake should be between 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams. You can even err towards the 1,200 milligrams itself. But the thing is, if you're a client of mine, there is no doubt you're hitting your calcium. Unless you're lactose intolerant, then you're still going to be hitting your calcium, for example, as well. Anyway, and when it comes to minerals, something that I did learn in my postgraduate is that your body adapts to what it's being fed consistently. So if you don't eat a lot of iron, I eat meat, I don't eat red meat. I used to eat quite a lot of kangaroo, but outside of that, I never used to eat red meat, and I still don't. My iron levels are actually pretty high. So it's due to, one, your DNA and genes, and two, your body adapts to what it gets given on a consistent stimulus, like a consistent basis. So if you're inconsistently overfeeding like iron and then bringing it back down, same with calcium, overfeeding and then bringing it back down, your body doesn't know what the fuck to do. Same with calories. When you do the same thing, your body doesn't know what the fuck to do. So what it usually does is it adapts to the low one, and it adapts to low one for the calories. So if you're like eating 1,200 calories through the week and then you binge eat on the weekend, you're actually getting fatter in the meantime. So don't do that. And if you're inconsistently eating different calories all throughout the week, your body's not going to adapt to anything and you're not going to get results. Same, like when it comes to minerals, it's your body doesn't know what the hell to adapt to. Like it's getting a stimulus of a lot and then a little, and then a lot and then a little. And because it's getting a lot, it's expecting that it's going to be fed that a lot, and then it gets nothing. So that's when you start facing deficiencies. So if you're consistently giving yourself around the same calcium, it's going to adjust its absorption, which is your body taking it in, to its body keeping it in your bloodstream. Because you aren't what you eat, you are what you absorb. So your body needs to actually absorb. So what happens is you eat the food, it goes into your digestive tract, and then it gets shuttled into the blood and to wherever it needs to go. Now your body needs to absorb it out of the blood. Well, first it actually needs to get into the blood. So your gut needs to be in a healthy place for it to actually get out of the gut into the blood. And we're not even going to talk about the issues that could arise there, because that's not the topic of this thing, and I could talk for days on that. So it needs to get into the blood, and then it needs to get transported. Shit can't get transported if you're not hydrated enough, so hydrate. You need to have 3 liters a day. Anyway, it needs to get transported to where it needs to go. Calcium, the bones need it. Anyway, this is a long ramble. But anyway, there's the calcium. So look at this at the top though. It says 78 grams serving size. And with the one from Aldi, I know that one because I got it once before, and I'm pretty sure it comes out around 80 grams. I'm pretty sure it's around 80 grams. It's either 80 or 85. It's actually pretty close. It doesn't have a lot of liquid in that one. And the only other time it had a lot of liquid was when it was very, very oily, which makes sense because it has more fat than this one. So anyway, there's that. And then we look at the Woolworths lemon and pepper, and you can see that this is lower in protein, but the thing is, it's actually not. If you look at per 100 grams, it's exactly the same as the Aldi one. But if you look at this one, it's like they're all pretty equal on the protein. So I'm not fussed about the protein. The question here is what's going on with the actual calcium. Like, why is it promoting calcium? Now, if you look at the ingredients label on this one, it's just normal. It's got the tuna, it's got water, blah, blah, blah. Voila. It's the exact same as the Aldi one, but it's literally the exact same as the Aldi one. There's no real difference except it has less carbs, but big whoop, like it's the same. So with this one, the only thing I'd be judging is, okay, so do you need more calories and protein? Take it. Everything else is the same. So I don't care whether you get the Aldi one or the Woolworths one. To me, they are the same. Now, let's shut this and look at the calcium one. So the calcium one makes sense why there is calcium in there, because what they did is, if you look here, they included the bone powder. Now, bones, as you know, contain calcium. And because it's containing the bone powder, that is what gives it the calcium. Now, I don't think you need this whatsoever. In fact, I would, unless you eat like absolute shit, don't even bother. Like, it's a waste of your money. Well, it's on special, so it's not really that much different. If you like the taste, go for it. But I'm just trying to say there's nothing special about this whatsoever. Like nothing special. Nothing. Nothing. If anything, yeah, there's nothing special. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm looking at the spring water one, which doesn't help. I should have looked at the lemon pepper. My bad. I'm gonna pause this thing for a second. Let's see if I can actually pause my recording. Okay, let's bring it back. This one actually has a lot more calories and it has a lot less protein. So you know what? The one that actually wins out of all of this is probably the Woolworths and the Pork U. This is literally nothing special. This has less protein than the other two, actually. And it's got same 80-gram serve size. It's got a lot more calories in it. Still doesn't have a lot of omega-3. It claims to have calcium. Cool story, bro. It has a lot of fat in it. So I wouldn't really recommend this whatsoever. Like, it's a lot of people get too much fat in their diet as it is. So why would you want to include protein sources that already come with a lot of fat? Like, save that for a steak or save that for something else. Like, you still get omega-3 with any other tuna, which out of all these, I actually get the Woolworths one, but the Aldi one proves superior with omega-3. So my recommendation for the best tuna is the Aldi one. I should actually do a Canva on this. Anyway, this is just a massive educational talk. But yeah, that's why it's the bone powder. Now let's do a little chat about, okay, let's not share screen. How do I not share screen? Stop sharing screen. Can I stop sharing screen? Yeah, I can stop sharing screen. No, stop. How do I stop sharing? Okay, I haven't done a share in ages, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to now talk about calcium and a little bit for you guys. So like I already said, 1,000 to 1,200, but here's the thing. Calcium needs to be absorbed, and calcium can't be absorbed from food the way it should if you don't get enough vitamin D. So if you're like, this is where osteoporosis and bone issues come in, because most people are deficient in vitamin D. It's a given. The older you are, the darker the skin you have, hormones when you go through menopause, you need a lot more vitamin D. So there's something to take into consideration there. And if you go out into the sun, you're not actually absorbing vitamin D if you're wearing clothes that cover your skin and wearing sunscreen. And most of us wear sunscreens, we don't want to get burnt. So there's that. Now, sunlight is actually very beneficial. So I'm not going to say that there's nothing beneficial about that, because there's a lot of beneficial of being outside. Anyway, so when it comes to like calcium sources, I'm so used to saying protein, there's a lot of food that actually contains some form of calcium. Like broccoli is very high, cheese, the yogurts, and here's the thing, I include all that stuff in your diet anyway, like spinach, bok choy, even skim milk has it, and tofu. Like, there are a lot of other sources of calcium. It's not really something I would personally worry about if you're eating a whole food diet, which all of you are. Something that's actually higher in calcium, well, I wouldn't say higher, but something that actually contains calcium as well are sardines in themselves, because sardines usually come with the bones included. But yeah, like cottage cheese, like all cheeses contain calcium in themselves. I wouldn't really go out of my way to buy fortified tuna if I need, like, if I had another option. But there is that option, like if you want to have an enhanced input of calcium, go for it. But I feel like there's a lot of like mental masturbation around that stuff. Like, yeah, the thing that annoys me here is the protein plus thing, because there's not really a difference. So I hope that helped, and I'm going to put this up onto YouTube as well. So I hope, oh, here's the screen. So I hope that helps you there. And